Follow this summon strategy, and you might just walk out with the unit you want. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are talking summoning strategies. We are about 19 days away from Global Dokkan's 9th anniversary, and many of you are probably trying to decide what unit and what banner you want to spend your stones on, right? What is the most value for you to pick up, along with what unit do you want the most. So in this video, we're just going to talk about how to sort of budget and strategize your stones, so that way you might just walk out of the anniversary with the unit that you want. Now, in the past, when it was just the part 1 and part 2 banners, and both of the main 9th anniversary units were in part 1, it was pretty easy to say, hey, look at the banners, decide what has the most value for you, and then jump all into that banner. That was our strategy last year. However, this year is a little bit different because part 1 and part 2 are entirely different themes, right? Part 1 is themed around the Dragon Ball Broly movie, right? So you have the Dokkan Festival LR Broly, and his counterpart is the Carnival LR Gogeta. In part 2, you have Dokkan Festival LR Beast Gohan and the Carnival LR Gamma. So that makes things a little bit difficult for deciding where to go. Most people by this point understand where Beast Gohan lies in the game. He is number 1 by a wide margin for the time being in terms of unit power, right? He is probably the unit you want to walk out with the most. So what does that mean about part 1, right? Are you just going to not summon in part 1? Well, no, I don't think that most people should do that. You're probably going to end up being without anything. So the best strategy I can come up with to ensure that you walk out with what you want is to take a look at the part 1 banners and decide which is more valuable for you. Do you need the Broly, right, for a Super Bosses team along with the Frieza? Do you need the 5th year LR EZAs? Do you need Blue Kaioken and their EZA? Did you miss CMZ and Z Duo? Now, if you didn't miss these guys, I don't think they are a high priority. The meta has certainly shifted past their usefulness, at least for CMZ's sake. He can find a slot on Broly and Rose's team, but there are currently better options. Not to say that he's bad, but he's probably not a high priority. Same goes for the Z Duo, right? They can do pretty well in the newer events because they are long, but your primary focus is using their Spirit Bomb and not much else. But these guys are probably, outside of Broly, the highest priority on the banner because their EZA is wild. Looking at the opposite end, on Gogeta's banner, right, this is a chance to pick up some LRs that you may not otherwise have a chance to do, right? UI Goku is getting an EZA in the beginning of the celebration during the countdown campaign. Broly is the part 1 EZA, and then of course Sword of Hope Trunks, Cooler, Gohan, right? Decide who are the priorities here aside from Gogeta, and then go from there. And then look at your stone count. How many stones do you have? If you're walking into this anniversary with about 500 stones, I would say maybe do no more than 2 or 3 rotations here, and then leave it at that. You will get, hopefully, whichever banner it is in the part 1, right? Hopefully we will end up getting summoning tickets. We don't know for sure yet if we will or not, but we should be. If we do, do no more than a couple of rotations, enough to get yourself maybe 1 ticket summon, and then give it a go. If you don't get anything there, then if neither Gogeta or Broly are your primary focus of the anniversary, I would leave it at that. And the only reason I say to do that is because you don't really want to be spending the first half of the anniversary with none of the new units. That's just no fun at all, right? You want at least Gogeta or Broly, so decide which one is best for you, which banner holds the most value, and then do maybe a couple rotations. Remember, the final count of the anniversary is over 1,200 stones, so that, 200 to 300 stones for those couple rotations aren't going to hurt you too terribly bad. Now, if Beast Gohan is, of course, what you're after, I know most players are after him, here is my suggestion. Plan to use all of the remaining stones on this banner. Whatever you can. You do not want to be the person that walks away from this anniversary without this card. He is probably number one in the game by a wide margin and looks to be staying that way for quite some time soon. Very few units have come out since his release that even come close to what he's doing. I'd say maybe Gogeta and Broly are his close second, who are also available in the anniversary right now. So plan on doing maybe a rotation or two. I would say no more than 300 stones here in part 1 on Broly or Gogeta, unless of course they are the ones you want, and then dumping the rest into Beast Gohan. Gammas are going to be a nice to have, but I don't think they are high on the list of priorities for the anniversary. I think Beast should be your number one priority. Dump your stones here. If you get them early, then dump the rest of your stones into Gogeta or Broly. They should be your priorities, second only to Beast. That's just, in my opinion, the way you should sort of prioritize it. So that does mean, part 1 might be kind of stretchy, right? You may, if you don't get them early, that's fine. Just remember, you're holding out for this LR, right? You saved up 1,500 stones all year long. You want to make sure you put the bulk of them to this guy right here. Now, something worth noting, of course, we know we have these new rainbow tickets, which if you collect all 50 of them during the anniversary, you can do a summon on any one of these banners. Count on that on getting whoever your second primary choice is, right? So if your primary choice is Beast and you're waiting until part 2, you do all your summons there on in part 2 for him, and then maybe you jump into Broly or Gogeta. Let's say you jump into Broly, you pick up Broly in a couple rotations after that. And then I would say use your tickets then on that case on Gogeta, whichever one you don't end up getting. If you end up getting all 3, right, then use them on the Gammas. That's basically the way you should strategize using this ticket here, whichever one you don't get. So if you dump your stones into Broly or into Beast Gohan, use your ticket on Gogeta or Broly, whichever one you don't plan on using stones for. That's the best way to go about it. It's a little bit different than the recommendation we usually make every year, but that is because of the new Carnival Dokkan Fest format. It's kind of changed up things a bit, and I'm telling you, patience will be rewarded. Don't jump into the banners the moment they drop, trying to bust out all your stones on Gogeta and Broly, unless of course they are the ones you want from the anniversary. Maybe you're not a fan of Beast, maybe you would rather have Gogeta or Broly. In that case, then of course do whatever you see fit. This is just merely my suggestion to help you walk out of the anniversary with the one you want. I do not recommend jumping back and forth between banners, like doing 3 or 4 multis here, a couple rotations, and then jumping to Gogeta, doing a couple rotations, then jumping to Carnival and doing a couple. It's never a good idea. All right, pick a banner, go all into that banner till you get the unit that you want, and then step on to the next one. You can use your coins or the tickets to pick up whoever you don't. Remember that the Dokkan Fest LR will return during Tanabata celebration for global, which ends up usually being around Christmas time. And then of course the Carnival LRs will probably, this is gonna be a tough one. They'll either drop during worldwide celebration, or we might get some lucky Carnival banner towards the end of the year or beginning of next year, in which case you'll be able to coin them then. We'll have to see, but hopefully this kind of helps you guys out figuring out where to spend the bulk of your stones. Again, the final recommendation, if you can be patient enough, dump most of them into Beast, and then whatever you have left over, go for either Gogeta or Broly, and then use your tickets on whichever other one you don't want to use stones on or didn't get. Just put it that way. So guys, that's it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below let us know, who are you utilizing this strategy to go after? Are you going to be patient, wait till part 2, or are you going all in on Broly and Gogeta in part 1? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise guys, as always, thanks for watching and aloha.